Let's see how to pronounce the letter X in French with FrenchSpanishOnline.com. This letter gets several pronunciations in French. Let's see the rule. The most common rule, actually, the most common pronunciation of the letter X is X, like a key and S. For example, when the letter X is inside a word. Taxi, saxophone, oxygène, text. Here you can see the X is inside a word and the pronunciation is X. It is also true when the letter X is at the end of a word, but we have just before a vowel like A, E or O. So for example, we say sax, so here we pronounce X. Sax is the abbreviation for saxophone. Intox means disinformation, because we have the O, so we pronounce X. Silex, the rock, the flint, here we have an E and we pronounce the letter X at the end and we say X. It is also true for some words with a consonant before, but actually we have maybe 2 or 3 words like that in French language, so it's not very important, not difficult to know them. This animal we say le lynx, and here we pronounce the letter X. It is also true for some names. I don't know if you know these characters, these cartoons. We have the little guy is Asterix. We pronounce actually the letter X after the letter I here because it's a name, it's a Gaul name, it's not French. Obelix for the big guy, and the dog is Idefix. Let's see now some words starting with the expression EX. We have 2 possible pronunciations. When EX is followed with a consonant, we say again X. For example, exposition. Here our consonant is the letter P, and we say X, exposition or exception. However, if after we have a vowel, the sound is Gz. Exo, for example, it's an abbreviation. Exact or exemple. Here we have the sound Gz. It is also true if there is a mute H after the letter EX. For example, exhumer, to exhume or to disinter. We have a H, but we don't pronounce it here. It's like a vowel, so the sound is Gz, exhume. In some words, they are not numerous, fortunately, but they are important. Pronunciation is like a Z. Deuxième for second. Same thing for secondly, deuxièmement. Sixième, six. Sixième, here again we have the sound Z. And dixième for 10 or dixièmement, we have the sound X, sound Z here. Sometimes it is the sound S. Again, these words are important to know. The word 6, here we say six, like if it was an S, or 10 for 10, and also soixante. And it's true for all the 60 families, the 60 families, 61, 62, etc. 61, 62, so the pronunciation is like an S. Most of the time, at the end of a word, the letter X is silent after the vowel I or U. Heureux, for example, happy, we don't pronounce the letter X after the U. Doux, soft. Prix, the price. Chevaux, the plural of cheval, horses. Deux, two. So with all these words, and after these 2 vowels, I and U, we don't pronounce the letter X. At the beginning of the word, X can be either X or X. There is no really rule. For example, for this word, which is a wine, the dictionary Le Robert said that we can pronounce Xeres or Xeres, so it's up to you. However, for this one, we used to say xenophile. Pay attention now to the connection between words, because the X can change. For example, here, to say two, you know that after the letter U, the final X is mute, so we say deux. However, if just after we have a word starting with a vowel, like ami, friends, here, we have a connection between the two words and we will say deux amis, like if it was a Z, deux amis. You remember why actually? Because deuxièmement here, it was a Z too. It was one of our exceptions, deuxièmement. So here, because of the connection, deux becomes deux, deux amis. More example with the number 6. So you know that this one we pronounce it like a S, and we say six when it is alone. Now, six, and we want to say trees, 6 trees. Here we have a vowel again, so we will say with the connection six arbres, like if it was a Z, because you remember that we said sixièmement here, a Z for this adverb. So we have two pronunciations for the same word. When 6 is alone, we say six, like an S, and when it is followed with another word starting with a vowel, we say, like a Z, six. But it's not finished. We have a third one. When the following word starts with the consonant, in this case, the X is mute, and we say six livres. So 3 pronunciations for the same word, and you need to remember that. Six livres. It's very rare actually to hear in French six livres. Sometimes, yes, just to insist, but actually the correct pronunciation is six livres. And it's the same thing for 10. We say dix when it is alone, like a S, dix for dix arbres when there is a connection, or dix livres, so the X is mute when the following words start with a consonant. It's a bit rare, but we have 3 pronunciations per word. Let's see again our rules now to see if we remember them. So we said that the most common rule is the pronunciation of the X when, for example, the X is inside a word. It is the same thing at the end of the word, but if we have a vowel like a, E, O before, in this case the sound is X. And again, after the expression EX, if we have a consonant just after, we will say X. However, if we have a vowel, the sound becomes X. Some exceptions: X inside a word is not X, but it can be Z. For example, deuxièmement. It can also be an S, like soixante, or at the end of the word, like six. And finally, we have a lot of words with an X at the end for plural, for example, and we don't pronounce it. For example, we remember cheval, chevaux, animal, animaux, bocal, bocaux, etc., etc. So here the letter X is mute. I hope this lesson will help you pronounce correctly in French the letter X for the number 6 and 10, which are a bit special. Thank you very much for watching these slides with me. If of course you have any doubt, any question, you can drop me a line at FrenchSpanishOnline.com. You know it's free. See you next time. Au revoir.